guys, Cellie here. Today I want to talk to you about something so important to your success. One of the most important ingredients in you overcoming, and that word, the one single word, is perseverance. You know, last night they finally got 3 winners on the $1.5 billion lottery. And that's 3 people that are going to get $500 million. And for someone who's never made, say, more than $50,000, $60,000 a year, that's going to be a problem. You know, you think it's the greatest blessing in the world, but you know, that money can actually cause you to self-destruct in so many ways. And one of the reasons is because we have been trained, at least in America, but really most of the world, we've been trained to be consumers. All of the media, all of the commercials, all of the culture in our society has taught us that happiness is equivalent to material things, and that we're supposed to go out there and consume. And you know, if you're driving a $100,000 car, living in a $500,000 house, then you know you're successful and you found happiness. But how many stories have we heard from these lottery winners that got the money and their life just went off the Richter scale? You know, they just self-destructed. They got into gambling, they got into drugs, they got into excess. People came out of the woodwork and tried to take their life or tried to sue them, and just all kinds of scandalous things. So getting back to the spirit of this talk, perseverance, I want to talk about what it really means to persevere, because some people have this innate ability to overcome. They're just hardwired. It's in their DNA. They're just natural born entrepreneurs. But that is not the case for the average person. It certainly wasn't the case for me. And so learning to persevere forces you to go through the personal work. It forces you to really get in touch with your priorities. And many times in my own experience, I failed. You know, I fell on my face and I gave up. But I didn't give up forever. I didn't give up for long. I eventually dusted myself up, or I dusted myself off, and I got back up and I started moving. And so, you know, in the network marketing industry, man, we promote lifestyle. We promote time freedom. And the interesting thing is that freedom isn't free. Freedom comes with a price. And anyone that you see overcoming in business, or that's already successful in business, unless you are a trust fund baby, or unless your parents built an empire and gave it to you, in most cases, you're looking at someone who had to persevere over incredible obstacles. You know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And it's really not about arriving at the shiny, happy place, but it's about the journey, who you become along the way. You know, I see people posting income claims that they got a $25 check. And I think that is awesome. I think anybody who does anything that creates a positive response, like getting a $25 check, man, it doesn't have to be $100,000. It doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to be the person on stage getting the oversized check at the network marketing event. What's important is that you're moving in the right direction. And so I want to encourage you to persevere at all costs. Decide what you want and go after that freedom, and realize that there's a price to pay. I don't care what you're doing. If you're a blogger, you're working hard to gain an audience. If you're a YouTuber, you're working hard to gain an audience. If you're in Hollywood, if you're an actor or an actress, you're working hard to build your brand, to get people to like you, to get people to be interested in you. It's all about what you're doing on a daily basis to inspire other people and to move forward in your marketing efforts, in your business, in your personal life. And it requires perseverance. The masses don't understand this. The masses want to rub the shiny lamp and just have all their dreams happen instantly. And the problem with that is it will cause them to self-destruct. In most cases, the average person out there, their personality isn't ready to handle the faucet always being on. And I've been there. I've had money rain on my head, residual income coming down so much, I'm almost embarrassed to say how much it was. And it will test your character. It will test every tick in your personality will come out. And you'll look in the mirror and you may not like yourself when the money hits. But as you are going after that time freedom and that lifestyle, if you're doing the personal development, by the time you get there, the person that you have become as a result of persevering is going to be the person that can handle success. You look at a guy like Mark Cuban. Granted, he got a huge sum of money. He got over $1 billion on a stock split, but he had worked for years and years and years to put himself in that position of making smart moves, years and years of persevering, years and years of making the right decisions. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure if you interviewed him, he would talk about all the times he fell on his face. So if you want the freedom, you've got to be willing to persevere. And look, your walk, your pursuit of the time freedom, your pursuit of success will inspire those around you. People are skeptical of any of us who are program hopping, right? They're skeptical. They're like, well, show me, why do I believe you now when all I've seen you do is hop program to program? But when you make the decision in your heart that you're going to persevere and you stick to your guns and you grind it out, you'll be surprised how many people are watching you behind the scenes that will align themselves with your cause because they respect your journey. I always said, haters don't hate you because you got your act all together. They don't hate because, you're so successful and amazing. They hate you because they see your struggle wrapped in strength. Because look, it's not easy. It's not easy to make your way in this world. It's not easy to pursue your dreams. There's an old story I learned from one of my mentors. Guy walks into an old-time drugstore, like the drugstore that time forgot, like a drugstore that was erected in the 50s and hadn't changed. And as he walks in, he's been driving all day, he's hot, it's summertime, he wants to get a cold beverage, and he looks over to the right and there's this dog lying in front of the cooler on this old hardwood floor, and he's howling and he's groaning, like almost like he's in pain. And the guy, does his shopping and he goes up to the counter and he says to the shopkeeper, "What's going on with your dog over there? Why is he howling?" And the shopkeeper says, "Oh, that's old Blue. He's probably lying on one of those nails coming up from the floor, and that's what's making him howl." And the guy says, "Well, why doesn't he move?" And the shopkeeper says, "It must not hurt that much." So many people are living lives of mediocrity. They're not happy. They're in some kind of pain, but the pain isn't intense enough to make them move. And that's the difference between average people and the movers and the shakers. So if you want to be a mover and a shaker, you've got to be a self-starter. You've got to find the passion every day. You've got to tap into that inner well of creativity and passion and excitement and joy. And more than that, more than tapping into all that, you've got to be willing to persevere at all costs. And I can't even tell you the obstacles that I've faced in business over my career, over the past 14 years. I should write a book. But the journey has been incredible because we become what we do the most. So if you want to be successful, act successful. Do what successful people do, and you'll get what successful people get. And until next time, this is Tom Cellie saying live well, love well, God bless.